to educating and helping people with whatever entity I'm working with, whether it be school, medical sales, retirement, and now I'm doing the same with veterans. And I'm really happy to be here to tell you about Veterans Upward Bound. The program is, as I mentioned, a free program for veterans. And brief history, in the early 60s, in 1964, the President Johnson, in his war on poverty, started what was called Upward Bound. That was in 1964. And eventually, a couple other programs were added to help underprivileged and low-income students go to college. I was actually a person who went through the program in the late 60s. In 1972, those three programs were combined in what they call a TRIO, T-R-I-O, simply meaning three. Currently, there are 8 programs in the TRIO system, Department of Ed. Veterans Upward Bound is one of those programs. It was started in 1972, and it was designed primarily to help and initially to assist Vietnam veterans when they returned from their duty in Vietnam to transition back into and go on to college and pursue some type of post-high school degree. So that was the initial push. Today, there are over 60 Veterans Upward Bound programs. There is one in West Virginia. That's who I work with. And I'm what's called an academic advisor. We help veterans who have an interest in pursuing some type of post-high school certification, college degree, or simply to refresh basic math or English skills. The other states and other programs I'm not as familiar with, but we all are wanting to achieve the same objectives, which I'll talk about here in just a minute. The primary objective of Veterans Upward Bound is to motivate and assist veterans in their development of academic and basic skills. And the goal is to help them enroll and complete some type of post-secondary education, whether that be CDL training, an AA degree, a college degree, whatever it might be. We do not provide the actual funds. Our primary job is to guide the veteran along the process, help them with applications, with financial resources, and basically open some doors for them so they may pursue whatever academic and career objectives they have. We try to provide the tools to help them achieve their academic and career goals. Let me give you a couple examples. I've helped several veterans get into college, some of whom are still there and they're almost ready to finish. I have some veterans who started school and then for some reason, either military service or a disability or some type of personal issue, left college, and now they're returning. I helped a young veteran in West Virginia complete his certification to be a fly fishing guide in Montana. So that's his ultimate goal. I've helped veterans get their CDLs to be a truck driver. I have a couple of veterans who wanted to become locksmiths. So it's a wide variety of interests. And our goal is simply to help the veterans along the way and try to provide them as many tools as we can so that they will be able to finish whatever goals they have in mind, whether it be college, trade school, certification. We also offer, as I mentioned, a lot of classes, basic English and math refresher courses, computer classes, both beginning and intermediate, pretty much whatever level the veteran is where they are, we try to help them progress to a different level of expertise with their computers. The basic requirements to be in Veterans Upward Bound are primarily to not be a college graduate, and number two, to have something other than a dishonorable discharge. So we're focused on those types of veterans. And in West Virginia, we serve about 170 veterans a year. And as I mentioned earlier, the entire country services and assists about 8,500. So it's a pretty select group. We do all that we can to help the veterans with pretty much anything that they might need. I had a veteran who is currently enrolled, and he was living in a mission, rehab mission. We helped him find an apartment, get the apartment furbished, and that's not really part of what we do at Veterans Upward Bound, but anything that would help him get close to what he wants to do. Eventually, he wants to take some classes and become a minister. So again, help along the way, provide the tools, and if it requires helping them with their college applications, financial resources, the DRE disability applications, we help through that process. We provide tutoring and any kind of study skills. And we work closely with the local colleges who provide a place for us to do the classes. We also work with some of the other associations, whether it be veteran assistant offices. Certainly with the VA, I go there a couple of days a week and meet with veterans, and any local agencies, whether it be homeless advocates or the housing development or food pantries. Pretty much we run the whole gamut to try to help the entire veteran, so to speak. And our goal, as I mentioned, is to help them get whatever tools they need to be successful. And there's no age limit. I have veterans who are in their 70s. I have some who are in their early 20s and mid 20s, male and female, married, not married, living alone, living in a group home, all types of different scenarios. And we just try to take the veteran from where they are to where they want to go, by providing whatever support that we can along the way. So it's a rewarding position for me. It's also at the end of the journey for the veteran. It's a great reward for them because somewhere along the line they may have been their education may have been interrupted or disrupted, or they had some issues, or they simply didn't have the means to get to where they want to go. So that's kind of in a nutshell. I would suggest if you are in a state other than West Virginia or in West Virginia, simply research Veterans Upward Bound, and it will lead you to whatever college has that program. Ours is run through a private college called Davis and Elkins College. That's here in West Virginia. And there are 4 of us in the state who serve as academic advisors, and we cover the entire state. There's a little bit of travel involved. We meet with veterans, try to make them feel comfortable with and help them with choices that they want to make, whatever they want to pursue. So that's kind of it. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. And it would be a great program for this nonprofit, I think, to encourage veterans, because it is part of the transition process to go from their military service into civilian life, whether it be college, CDL, fly fishing, locksmithing, whatever the case may be. So if there are any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
Hey, Mike, I got a question. This is Lance here. You mentioned one of the prerequisites is not having a bachelor's degree.
Yes.
Is there any waiver to that requirement? With kind of certain degrees becoming obsolete and the market changing. I'm just curious.
Unfortunately, there is not. And when I meet with groups of veterans and I tell them how we can help, there's a disappointment because if they have a college degree, they're simply not eligible. And that's not our rule. That's the Department of Ed. And again, the focus has been on trying to help veterans who don't have a college degree. So unfortunately, the answer is no, there are no exceptions to that.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes. I wish there were exceptions, but there aren't.
Yeah, I was just curious for a family member of mine. No, I got another question. Do you guys also entertain real estate licenses? And if so, what is the process with that? Is the assumption that the funding is kind of already in place with the veteran through the VA, or do you all help kind of source out other means to pay for a license or whatever?
Yeah, there are other programs in the state that I've referred veterans to. If it's something other than the normal college or certification. And again, we try to work with whatever the veteran wants to do. And personally, my goal is to say to the veteran, what is it you want to do? What direction do you want to go? I have a veteran, a couple of them actually, who, based on their joint services transcript, they're literally about one semester away from getting a degree. So they may pursue that simply to say, I finished my college, and just take some basic general studies classes, and they'll have their associate degree. And that's just like an accomplishment they have always wanted to do. So we help them coordinate with their JSTs. So if somebody has an interest in a real estate license, I'll do what I can to connect them to whomever that will help them pursue that. And again, we don't provide the actual finances, but we provide those connections to the resources that they can possibly get the finances, whether it be the GI Bill, VRNE, or other programs that the state of West Virginia has, for example.
Oh, makes sense. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Hi, Mike. You said that if you already have a degree, then you are not eligible for this program. Does that include if you have a certificate from, like trade school or any type of certificate? Does that also include?
I think the answer to that is no. But what I'll do, Abby, is find out for sure, and I'll let you know. You can share that back with the group. I've never been asked that question, but I'll certainly jot it down and find out. And as soon as I can, I'll get back to you in an email and let you know.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I had one more question. So I just wanted to double check. You said, did you say that there was this program in each state, or is it most states, or is it some states?
There are 65 programs in the country.
Oh, wow.
I do not know where all of them are located. Mm-hmm. I know there's one in West Virginia. That's it. I don't know anything at all about the other states, but I'm sure that if you are in Wisconsin or California, if you simply Google, research that, it'll come up and tell you the nearest one. I know there's one, I'm pretty sure there's one in Ohio, because I had a veteran who had looked into joining that program when he was living there, but now he's in our program in West Virginia. And it's a free program through a grant from the Department of Ed. So it's kind of a win-win for a veteran.
Okay, thank you. And Mike, I think I have one more question.
Sure.
How is the sign up process? Like, how does someone get started with Veterans Upward Bound?
Well, you reach out to whatever program is in your state. In West Virginia, for example, normally we have either by attending events, veterans fairs, or the VA hospital, or the veteran sees our information on our website, Veterans Upward Bound, and they can ask to be contacted. If it's a veteran in my area, I reach out to them. We set up a time and place to meet. The enrollment takes about 15 minutes. All we ask that they provide is a copy of their DD-214, and the enrollment, like I said, takes just a few minutes. We have a national clearinghouse that we run everyone through just to make sure there's no possible issues. And then once the veteran is enrolled, they're eligible for us to meet with them as often as necessary. I've had veterans I've met with once, got them on the right track, and they're good to go. I have some I meet with every week because they have other questions and things they want me to help them with. And then we have our classes that probably 3 or 4 times a year we offer classes that are free. The program provides a small stipend. We generally provide snacks, and we have a really good local educator who works in the adult education in a local county, teaches adult ed, and she's a really good instructor. So it's a pretty easy process. I would suggest any veteran interested and eligible to reach out to the closest Veterans Upward Bound in their state and ask to be contacted and go from there.
All right, that seems pretty seamless. Thank you, Mike.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very non-intimidating and very low-key, and it's totally free. And I always encourage veterans to be enrolled and get involved and get as much help as they can for whatever it is they want to try to do.
Yeah, I think when it comes to veterans, you know, we could use all the help that we can get, especially like I did not spend 20 years. I didn't retire from the Marine Corps. I only did 4 years, and I went in kind of late. So for me, I kind of had like knowledge and experience of, you know, like typical civilian jobs and how to do certain things. But those who join early and they're in there for 20 years, it's a completely different ball game. So I think this program is excellent. And does anybody else have any questions? Oh, Desmond, hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Great, thank you for joining.
Yeah, got in late. Sorry about that.
That's okay. So our speaker, Mike Lynch, so he's discussing Veterans Upward Bound in West Virginia. But there are many programs throughout the country. And then, Mike, would you like to speak a little bit more about it?
Just to kind of summarize, it's a free program for veterans. Those who do not have a college degree and have something other than a dishonorable discharge. Veterans Upward Bound is a free program for veterans who want us to help them kind of navigate the pathway, so to speak, to take college classes, pursue a CDL certification or other types of college degree or any type of post-secondary training. And I would suggest, again, if there's an interest, to just research it, find out what program is closer to where you are, and reach out to them and get enrolled. Doesn't cost anything. And our goal is to help the veteran with any kind of academic and career guidance that we can provide and help them with the tools to get into any post-secondary training and or college that they would like. It's really a good, awesome program that does not cost anything. And it's a Department of Ed grants, so it's run nationally. And as Abby mentioned, there's about 65 programs throughout the country. I don't know where they all are, but I'm sure if you do a little research, you'll find one closest to you.
So I have a question. So a lot of veterans will get out and they have like GI Bill access, and obviously you said that people don't have, a college degree. So this would be on top of that. So it'd be provide the support and stuff. The GI Bill is really going to pay for the college, but you're there to provide support and infrastructure and guidance on how to get through that process. I'm assuming, is that kind of how it says?
Yeah. Yes, that's a big focus. We help them get into applying for the GI Bill, and if they have a disability, VRE, connect them with a VRE counselor, and try to provide the services that the local VA hospital might have that would help them with other things. And yeah, so we're kind of like a navigator, so to speak, to help the veteran get into and find out what GI benefits he or she may still have or have not used.
Okay.